Good morning. Salam alaikum. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, okay. What I want to do today is I'm going to give you a very brief overview of the Middle East and Africa region. A lot of my colleagues have covered this already, so I'm going to hit it fast. I want to talk to you at a high level about the Middle East and Africa automotive industry. I'll tell you a little bit about SABIC, the materials that we manufacture in Saudi Arabia that are important for the automotive industry. Tell you a little bit about another initiative we're doing that's designed to help enable the automotive industry growth in the kingdom, and then just give a quick summary. If you look at the Middle East and North Africa, kind of just in a snapshot, it's got a large population. It's approaching 500 million people. It's got a growing youth population. It gives you easy access to the GCC countries. There are trade agreements in place that make it easy to do business across the region. And the result of this is that you're seeing an increasing demand for local goods and services. Now, if we jump down into Saudi Arabia, what you see is that it's the largest country in the GCC. It's got a very large population. That population is growing at a fairly high rate. The country is spending close to $450 billion on building and construction. That's almost half of what you see in the MENA region. Again, a high GDP growth, and the world's #1 producer of crude oil. But what we're really here to talk about today is, why do you want to do business in Saudi Arabia? And my colleagues have talked to you about economic incentives. They've talked to you about a growing consumer population. They've talked about a government that is driving downstream industry growth to ensure population for the citizens. But in my opinion, the #1 reason for doing business in Saudi Arabia is location. If you look at Saudi Arabia, it's at the epicenter of this growing region, the Middle East and North Africa. But it also gives you access to Europe, and it gives you access to Asia. So by doing your manufacturing in Saudi Arabia, you have access to a large local population, you have access to an emerging region, and you have access to both, again, Europe and Asia. Now, let's just look at the automotive industry. If I had to describe it in the region, I would say that it's an emerging industry in an emerging region. There are automobiles produced there today. Turkey is a large producer of automobiles. Turkey also has a fairly large small and large truck industry, and they have a fairly robust aftermarket industry. If you look at North Africa, they are becoming a player with the introduction of the Renault plant in Tangiers, Morocco. Renault also announced that they were going to start producing automobiles in Algeria in 2014, again strengthening North Africa's position as a leading producer of automobiles for Southern Europe. If you look at South Africa, they have a strong automotive industry today, about 700,000 vehicles produced in 2012. And then if you look at countries like Egypt, they have some assembly operations. They also have various aftermarket component production. Pakistan has a fairly similar profile, but it's really Saudi Arabia that we're here to talk about today. And again, my colleagues have talked a lot about this. Saudi Arabia is just getting into the automotive industry. So there is the light truck assembly Isuzu has in Dammam. You've heard about the Tata Range Rover letter of intent to potentially do a factory in the kingdom. And there are various aftermarket components produced in the kingdom today, everything from batteries to filters. This is just the GCC and the numbers. This is our view on it. If you look at the GCC, again, there's no production today, although there is a high demand. We estimate that across the GCC about 1.5 million vehicles, and that's growing at greater than 10%. Again, it just depends on which country you look at in the GCC. As I said, Turkey is a large producer of automobiles, about 1.2 million auto build. About 75% of that is for export. South Africa, 700,000 vehicles in 2012, about 50% for export. And then when you look at North Africa, you know, if you look out to 2014, prediction is about 400 million automobiles out of Morocco, 100,000 out of Algeria. The bottom line here is, though, we see a strong demand, and the local production is much less than demand. So just switching gears for a minute and telling you a little bit about SABIC. SABIC is a global petrochemical company. We produce everything from basic chemicals to engineering thermoplastics. We're broken into 6 strategic business units. chemicals, performance chemicals, metals, fertilizers, polymers. Polymers is more our commodity side of the business from a plastic standpoint, polypropylene, polyethylene, PVC, and then innovative plastics, which is the engineering thermoplastic side, the polycarbonates, ABSs of the world. We are a very innovative company. We're proud of the fact that we're innovative. We've been producing plastics since 1935. We invented polycarbonate. We invented polyphenylene oxide. We invented a polyether imide that we sell under the brand name Ultem. We also invented an amorphous thermoplastic polyimide that we sell under the brand name of Extem. In addition, we have a very large patent portfolio. Since 1950, we've had over 8,000 patents issued. Now, we're also a rapidly growing company. If you look at our capacity in 1985, it was approximately 6 million metric tons. That's grown to 72 million metric tons in 2012. If you look at how that capacity is split across our strategic business units, about 65% of it is in our chemicals SBU, 15% is in our polymers SBU, and the other 20% is spread between innovative plastics, performance chemicals, fertilizers, and metals. Now, again, what we're really here to talk about today is the automotive industry. So what I want to talk to you about is what are the materials that SABIC manufactures in KSA today or has plans to manufacture in KSA in the near future that are important for the automotive industry. If you look at our performance chemicals business, we have a number of elastomers coming online in 2015, everything from EPDM to butadiene rubber to butyl rubber. We also have carbon black coming online in 2015. We've got 2 engineering thermoplastics, polyacetal, polymethyl methacrylate, that are coming online in 2016. Carbon fiber comes online in 2016, and then polyurethane should come online somewhere in the 2019 range. If you look at the innovative plastics business, we're now producing quite a few materials in Saudi Arabia. We've got a polycarbonate plant in Al Jubail, Saudi Arabia, at our Saudi Cayenne facility. We've also built compounding capabilities in Al Jubail. We have the ability to compound both polypropylene as well as all of our ETP materials. Again, this is at our specialty chemicals facility. And then we have plans to bring ABS online, so bring the resin into the kingdom in the beginning of 2015, and that'll be at our petrochemical site also in Jubail. If you look at polymers, you know, we've been producing polypropylene, polyethylene, PVC for quite a while in the kingdom. Chemicals provides MTBE, ethylene glycol, methanol. Even our fertilizer business has a material that's important for the automotive industry. They have technical grade urea, which can be used to manufacture AdBlue for fuel systems. And then, of course, we have metals with flat steel. Now, what this slide's designed to do is show you what we think our fit is in the different segments of the automobile. So if you look down the left side of this slide, what you see are the key segments of the automobile and the relevant systems. If you look across the top, that's our strategic business units. An orange ball means we have a good fit. A white ball means we have some fit. And if you don't see a ball, we just don't see a fit at all. But if you look in the exteriors, you know, we've got polypropylene for bumpers. For body panels, we've got GTX to replace steel. We've also got Lexan glazing to replace glass. Performance chemicals with the new elastomers they're bringing online will be strong in weather stripping and seals. And our chemicals business provides raw materials for things like paints and coatings. If you look at chassis, again, a pretty strong fit there. Innovative Plastics has a number of materials that we sell into the energy management system. Performance chemicals, again, with elastomers, will have a fit in suspension systems and tires. Jump into powertrains, again, a strong fit there. High-density polyethylene for fuel tanks. Performance Chemicals is bringing polyacetal online that can be used in fuel components. Innovative Plastics has a number of materials that can be used in fuel pumps and in air induction systems. And then we talked a little bit already about AdBlue. Looking at electronics and electrical, we've got Innovative Plastics has Lexan for forward lighting. Performance Chemicals will have polymethyl methacrylate for rear lighting. If you look at infotainment systems and safety systems, a number of our materials are used in those. We've got both Naril and PVC for wire coating. And if you look at energy storage, you can use either our polypropylene or Naril PPO for that. Interiors, again, a very strong fit. Everything from ABS to PCABS in the Innovative Plastics business to polypropylene for instrument panels. So again, just a a very high-level, broad look. One of the things we pride ourselves on in SABIC is our ability to help solve customer issues. This is just a look at how you can use SABIC materials to take weight out of an automobile. This audience knows that that's important for fuel savings as well as reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So just starting from the top, we have our Exitech PC glazing material, which can be used to replace glass in both side and rear panels. We've got Noril GTX, which can be used to replace metal fenders to take weight out. That's worth about 3 kilograms. For tailgates, you can either use our Stomax polypropylene or our Xenoid PC PBT, again about 3 kilograms. You can read through this yourself. The bottom line is we have a very broad portfolio of products that can help solve solutions in the automotive industry. So I've talked to you a lot about materials, but I want to switch gears a little bit. Again, as I said, we want to be your materials provider, but we also want to be your solution provider. And one of the things we've done in Riyadh to help make that happen is we've built the SABIC Application Development Center. This center is at the Riyadh Techno Valley. It's next to King Saud University in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's a very large facility at 42,000 square meters. It's designed to help our customers in areas like application development, material and process optimization, new process development. We will support all the materials that we manufacture in Saudi Arabia. And the facility is designed to be a center of excellence for 3 key markets: automotive, packaging, and building and construction. And the reason we focused on these is because we think they're critical for the growth of Saudi Arabia. The facility is up and running today. It will be online. There's a grand opening planned third quarter of 2013. So in conclusion, what I want to say is just that the Middle East and Africa is a rapidly developing region. It's got a growing population. They want luxury goods. They like them to be locally produced. The automotive industry is growing in the region. Several areas have become significant: Morocco, Turkey, South Africa. SABIC is committed to providing you with the materials that you need to succeed locally, anything from plastics to chemicals. We want to be your materials provider, but we also want to be your solution provider. With that in mind, we've built the SABIC Application Development Center, which is designed to help our local customers win. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Mr. Al-Rabia.